as the supply for homes for sale remains extremely low. Now, whether you're buying or selling a home, what do you need to know before accepting an offer? Joining me now with more is Realtor Koki Adasi. So good to see you, Early.
Good morning, Angie. How you doing?
I'm doing great. So I guess it's somewhat an understatement to say that this is a seller's market, and as a result, we're seeing a shortage of houses for sale. So my question is, where should someone who's looking for a home, where should buyers be looking in this area when it comes to finding a house?
Sure. Right now we're looking at extremely low inventory in the DMV, and for people looking to buy, I say that the most important thing to do is prepare, for the purchase. And that means, first talking to a loan officer to understand, what you can afford financially, what that means for you. Closing costs is also a big part of, buying a home. Not only your down payment, you have costs, also to pay for your lender, for taxes, and all that needs to be spelled out, well ahead of time. And then, of course, getting a great realtor on your side to help guide you through the process, and understand that, for a great property in a good neighborhood, you probably will be competing for that home. And that's the economics, supply and demand. We have low supply, very high demand right now with low rates, and people want to get more space right now, bigger yards, due to this pandemic, and it's created a heightened market. And so preparation is really key for buyers right now.
So how do you give somebody the edge? Because I've been reading about these people going in with $60,000 over the asking price and coming in fourth when it comes to who gets the house. And so besides the money part, unless that's really what it's all about, what can give somebody the edge in getting a house at this point?
Great question. There's several things you can do to have a very competitive offer in this market. Price is always important to a seller. However, there are other aspects of the contract that might also be important to them. A lot of sellers are in the same position that these buyers are in, trying to compete for a home, and the seller may not have found a property yet, and so they now need time after closing, when they receive their proceeds, to find that new property. And so being able to be flexible as a buyer and maybe give them a rent back where the seller stays in the property post-closing can be very helpful. Also doing a pre-inspection where the buyer inspects the home prior to making their offer on the house. That way the seller knows that if they go with you, there's no additional negotiations after they accept their contract, and that can give you the leg up. And sometimes even writing a thoughtful letter to the seller could help. It might be, an estate sale, or someone who's been there for, say, 30, 40 years, and they have a lot of emotion tied into that house. And so receiving your letter and making it meaningful to that seller may actually help give you the upper hand.
Yeah, those are all great tips. How about, it being an ideal time, obviously, for homeowners who are looking to sell? What should they keep in mind right now? What's the most important thing?
So the one thing to keep in mind for a seller is that the market is always sensitive to pricing. And what that means is, although we have low inventory right now and sellers are doing very well in this market, if you overprice your home, it will sit on the market. Still today, you will see homes that have been on for a few weeks or even months. And many of those houses, they either didn't price it right, or that they didn't prepare it for the market. And preparing it means, doing things like neutralizing the paint in the house. People don't want to see a yellow bedroom or a red living room. Try and neutralize the property, and make it appeal to as many buyers as possible. Also decluttering. You have things in your home that you don't need right now that are for summertime.